What the fuck is up, friends? Welcome to Bread and Circuses. This is the NFL draft reaction. Dude, how you doing, Nick?
I'm doing good, man. I'm very high hopes because my team, I feel, drafted very well. And all the other teams in the NFC East, I don't think drafted very well at all. So I'm fucking...
Who was your favorite pick from that one?
Honestly, dude, that first rounder with that
Smith?
with Smith, dude, I was like, bro, we finally got one of the top 3 receivers in the draft.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, dude, we could trade down for it. He's gonna go back with Jalen Hurts, who's already has chemistry with him.
Yeah,
and so I'm like, bro, fuck yes, dude. If at least if this receiver doesn't work out, you can't be like, oh well, you know what I mean? Like, he was projected to be one of the best receivers in the draft, so it's like,
right. Yeah, it's not like, why did you reach on this guy? Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he won the fucking Heisman, for God's sakes.
Exactly. Do a receiver win? Who's the last receiver to win the Heisman Trophy?
I want to say Jerry Rice, but I might be wrong.
No, didn't fucking.
Let me Google wide receiver Heisman Trophy winners real quick. Let's see here. The last one, they count here. Let me see. How many wide receivers have won the Heisman? 3 wide receivers have ever won the Heisman. Tim Brown, Desmond Howard, and Devontae Smith. So if you consider Johnny Rodgers to be a wide receiver, you could throw him in there as well, because he was like a wing back, so he did both. Let's see. Tim Brown won it in what, fucking 90? Like the 80s. Holy shit.
Oh, Desmond Howard is a former Super Bowl MVP too. So
yeah, Desmond Howard was in the 90s. He was the one that struck the Heisman pose for Michigan. He was on the cover of the video game and stuff.
Yeah. So there you go, man. That's a pretty good track record, you know.
Saying. I mean, you guys I'm looking at your draft, and you did fairly well. Like, I mean, there's a
Dallas
couple
did good. Dallas did okay with like that linebacker that they picked. That guy in the first round is really good. That
was a no-brainer. Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is really good.
Yeah.
However, a lot of their other picks are like really kind of dodgy. It's like you don't know what to pick. I think they're going to be like a very much like a win all the way, or all their team is all their draft picks aren't going to be good. Like, so
I like Jabril Cox in the 4th round for them from LSU, the linebacker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think that's a good pick. That's a steal. A lot of people had him going in the early 2nd. So
yeah, he went. His draft stock went down because he had like off-field issues or something, right?
Did he? No, I thought that was Parsons.
I know Micah Parsons. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did too, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. The other one I like for you guys though, Kenneth Gainwell in the 5th round from Memphis. He was a fucking do it all back there. Like, I mean, just your gadget type player, kind of like a little bit bigger James White.
Yeah, he's fast, which is good. I like that too. They made a little bit of that offensive lineman they got, that Landon Dickerson guy. I know he had some injury issues, so I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna put too much stock into that guy. It's more of like a risk it. You know, we got a 2nd rounder. He could pan out. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
Eagles linemen have just been cursed with fucking injuries. And like, I know the last guy, that Andre Dillard guy that we picked up as an offensive lineman, just completely bust due to injuries. So.
Well, and then here's the one that I want people to keep an eye on that you guys had in the 6th round. Tyron Jackson from Coastal Carolina. Because I follow some of this draft from smaller school kids and stuff like this. 54 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles in his redshirt senior. Sun Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Year, 1st team All-Conference, and 1st team All-American by the Associated Press. First team All-American anywhere but the Sun Belt, you're a 2nd or 3rd round pick at the worst. You know what I mean? So that's one exactly. That's one that I had my eye on, and I think he could be a pretty good pick for you guys, like a steal. So
yeah, I think that running back too from Memphis. I think he's
Gainwell.
He's gonna be pretty good, and that's already a pretty good running back core with Miles Sanders and I mean, Boston Scott's in there too. Like, Boston Scott, even an undrafted guy, Boston Scott's still good at catching out of the backfield and stuff. So I think that's a very decent running back core that also doesn't take up a whole lot of cap room. Like it's literally all people on like rookie contracts. So
no, and the thing is, nobody pays for running backs anymore.
Yeah, for real.
No one does.
And it's good. I mean, you can get quality running backs out of undrafted free agency. You know what I mean? Like
you really can. And it's like, or you can. So the thing with running backs in the NFL is it's basically how good is your offensive line, because you can have a superstar like Ezekiel Elliott, Melvin Gordon type running back, what's his face? Ingram from the Saints.
Yeah.
No, not, is it Ingram? No, what's his name? Kamara.
Alvin Kamara. Yeah.
You can have a guy like that, or Christian McCaffrey, and it's great. Or you can have a decent running back that you picked up in free agency and a really good offensive line and still average probably about half a yard less.
Yeah, you could pick up either a fast guy or just a tank guy and still gain 4 yards on runs.
You can do. I mean, the Patriots, with the exception of Corey Dillon, their whole Super Bowl run, all they had were, they'd have big backs and pass catching backs. They never had a feature back.
Honestly, that's kind of the modern running back too, is guys that can just catch out of the backfield. You like literally, you cannot be an NFL running back really anymore.
Running back by committee. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The days of LeGarrette Blount are over.
Yeah, for real. So
what were you saying?
All I was going to say is, what do you think of a big elephant in the room? What do you think the Patriots first round pick there, man?
So I was a little irrational the night that the pick was made. This is a bust. We got this fucking drunken fat slob, Mac Jones. But as the night wore on and when I woke up and had a night to sleep on it, I wasn't as upset. A lot of people are giving it an A+ and stuff like I wouldn't go that far. I'd say C+, B-. He was a quarterback that was projected to go in the top 10, but he was a quarterback that was projected to go in the top 10 because they thought the market was going to be hotter for quarterbacks than it was, not because he's a top 10 player, in my opinion. And he may turn into one. Tom Brady wasn't one either. So
here's the thing about Mac Jones, man. He had a pretty good fucking season last year, man.
Oh, it was great. My only concern with Mac Jones is you look at the team around him. He had the best offensive line.
You could say the same shit about Justin Fields. You could say the same shit about you could say the same shit about even Trevor Lawrence, dude. Like all those teams, it's all those teams that ended up going like national championships, going far in the playoffs and stuff. Like all these guys.
Yeah.
All had all 4 and 5 star fucking prospects as their entire team makeup. The only one you really can't say that about is maybe Trey Lance, but even so, like North Dakota State's always just like the best team in their fucking conferse that they
North Dakota State gets all the Big 10 and Big 12 guys that weren't starting.
Exactly.
FBS. So, I've cooled off on the Jones thing. I'm not as upset about it as I was. We'll see. I wanted Justin Fields. I really thought we were going to get him. And I thought that we'd have someone who's exciting, but no, we got to go with the slow white quarterback who sits in the pocket.
I really don't think Justin Fields is going to be good in the NFL, man. I think he's athletic and everything. I just don't think that the deep accuracy and the decision making is there for an NFL QB.
And the more I've looked into Fields since the draft, the more I agree with that.
Well, I watched Justin Fields play in person. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, for one, you want to talk about a team carrying him around him, dude.
Yeah. They were stacked at Ohio. Yeah. With Trey Sermon basically carried them in the playoffs.
Yeah, dude. So, and I mean, that was also a team that's defense was just the reason why the scores got rolled up so high. Like, dude, their defenses were so crazy over the past 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So totally underrated. Like when I watched Ohio State in person, their offense wasn't really as impressive as their defense. Their defense was like, dude, jaw dropping how good they were. Yeah, their offense was very much like, they would run it.
You watched them when they had Chase Young, though, right?
2 years ago.
That kid was a fucking maniac on the defensive line.
Dude, there's a reason why
backed it up in the NFL too.
There's a reason why all those Ohio State fucking guys went in the first and second rounds on that defense last year, dude. There's a reason why.
For sure. And it's like, speaking of Trey Lance, though, I mean, that's the big one that everyone's talking about. what do you think about it? Do you think it's this slam dunk that the analysts are making it seem, or is there going to be a little bit of a learning curve?
I don't know.
There'll be growing pains.
Well, here's the thing: is I think that he landed probably in one of the best places he could because he doesn't have to start. I think he's in a situation like Patrick Mahomes was, man. Like Patrick Mahomes went to Kansas City and got to sit a year behind Alex Smith, like a veteran QB. I think now you could consider Jimmy Garoppolo like a veteran QB. The dude's been to a fucking Super Bowl before. You know what I mean?
He's been to 3.
Like, yeah.
Only started in 1.
Yeah, the dude started like taking a team to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like I would consider him a veteran QB at this point. So
and he's in his 30s, so
he gets to sit behind him for a year. He's also in one of the best like offensive schemes in the NFL because he can, if he sucks, dude, they run the ball. They've got run games, so they can just run. Yeah. So it's like I can't think of a better spot for him other than maybe going to like the Titans or some shit. Sure. You know what I mean? Or like I don't know, like some other offensive good team that also like probably is going to get rid of their quarterback in like a few years. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing with Jimmy is when he's on the field, he's good. Right. Mm-hmm. If Jimmy didn't have an injury problem, we're not even talking about Trey Lance in San Francisco right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, dude, Jimmy's it's like you said, though, he's in his 30s, man. Like, NFL quarterbacks with injury history. Yeah. That's kind of, he's in his twilight years, I'd say.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been injured the last couple of years. So,
yeah. So Trey Lance is a freak athlete. But a lot of the footage I watched of him were guys that were wide open.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's how is it going to get when you have guys that aren't wide open every play? You know what I mean? He's not going to start right away.
Which is good. I think that's the best thing for him.
Anywhere he was going to go where he was going to be the day one starter, he wasn't going to succeed, but it was going to be harder for him to succeed. Yeah. I completely agree. I think that learning under Jimmy for a year will be a good thing for him. And I also feel like, what's a good way to put this?
I'll say this. I don't think Patrick Mahomes would have ever been an MVP if he would have been thrown to the Wolves right away in Kansas City.
No.
If he wouldn't have been able to sit behind Alex Smith for a year and develop that quarterback intelligence, then because I mean, the thing about Mahomes is like, he makes fucking left-handed throws and sidearm throws and just ridiculous shit because he's a fucking MLB. He could have been an MLB pitcher too.
Sure.
The thing that's awesome about Patrick Mahomes is that he makes good throws. He throws in the open. He doesn't make like he doesn't throw like an idiot. You know what I mean? So
and I think another one of the quarterbacks Trevor Lawrence. Everyone said what they need to say about Trevor Lawrence. I'm gonna laugh if he's a bust though.
I'm gonna feel sad, man, because dude, that year that the Jaguars went all the way up to the AFC Championship, dude,
with Blake fucking Bortles.
Yeah, with Bortles, man. Like, dude, that was a fun year, I think, in the NFL. It was just like when teams that normally suck are good. Like last year with the Browns winning a playoff game, dude.
The Browns may hang around. I don't think that's a one and done like Jacksonville.
I don't think so either, man. The Browns have an awesome coaching staff. I think the Browns had an excellent offseason, dude. They got like Jadeveon Clowney, like a couple Pro Bowler fucking secondary and stuff.
Yep.
I think they had an awesome offseason, man. I think the Browns are gonna be because they've got a team that's experienced. They brought all their guys back pretty much. They're patched up their weaknesses, and now they've got a quarterback that's won a playoff game and knows what that's like. You know what I mean? Like, dude, they got two fucking basically starting running backs too. They like Chubb and the guy from the Chiefs, what's his name?
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt, dude. Like, dude, you got two fucking awesome running backs on that team on like pretty cheap contracts. Like,
I think. So, what do you think about Zach Wilson to the Jets? I feel like a lot of people he's just been kind of forgotten in the midst of Mac Jones, Fields.
Lance, I don't know, man. I don't ever expect anything from the Jets. So I was calling that Sam Darnold wasn't going to succeed at the Jets just because that organization is ass. So I think it'll be better to look at Sam Darnold now in the Panthers now.
Yeah.
So
The Sam Darnold, you just look at the track record of USC quarterbacks in the NFL. Here, I'll pull them up real quick. Just how terribly UFC quarterbacks have done. Here, let me go here. Okay, list of USC Trojans starting quarterbacks. Okay, so you had Sam Darnold was the last one that's old enough to be in the NFL. Disastrous thus far. Cody Kessler, 3rd round pick, disastrous. Matt Barkley did absolutely nothing. Who else you got? Mark Sanchez, disaster. John David Booty did nothing. Matt Leinart, huge bust. Carson Palmer was the last one to do dick in the NFL. That's
Carson Palmer's probably the only one that's been to a Super Bowl from USC.
Did he go to a Super Bowl?
Didn't he go with the Cardinals when they played against the Patriots? Wasn't he the quarterback?
No, the Cardinals went to the Super Bowl against the Steelers, and it was Kurt Warner.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Kurt Warner was the quarterback. Yeah, the Cardinals like to recycle old quarterbacks.
I thought it was Carson Palmer.
No, he was still in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
They were, and Carson Palmer. It's not like one of those names. It's not like a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning where you hear it and it's like, oh, that was a great player. He had a long career, but if you ask Bengals fans, he was they'll tell you some different stuff about Carson Palmer. I mean, that guy's career did not end well in Cincinnati.
One thing I'm not surprised with either this year is like how many fucking Alabama players were drafted, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, ridiculous. What do you think of that second rounder you guys got, that defensive lineman? Yeah,
that was my favorite pick of the draft. I think he's going to be. He was the number 1 rated defensive lineman, or interior defensive lineman. You didn't have a single interior defensive lineman go in the first round. He falls all the way to the Bengals, and the Patriots trade up and grab him. Everyone's saying, "Oh, they overpaid. Because they had to give up 2 4th-round picks to get him." But I'm like, dude, what? I mean, what are the odds those 4th-round picks would have fucking hit? Like, really? You have
everything after the 3rd round is a crapshoot. Even the NFL GMs will say the same shit.
Like, I mean, you have a player that you want that dropped 25 spots past where he should have. Go get him. Who fucking cares if you have to throw in an extra 4th-round pick? Why does that matter?
4th-round picks are anything like 4th, 5th, and 6th-round picks are kind of like some extra change you have in your pocket to throw on top of a trade deal or some shit.
It's like, and I mean, so a lot of teams will take special teams guys in the 5th round, and they've got their place. You know, Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. Guys like that, George Kittle.
There's a reason why Tom Brady's a legend, though. It's like that doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every now and then you hit. New England had a guy in the 6th round named Michael Onwenu last year.
Tom Brady has literally been like somebody playing Madden and like taking just the random 6th-rounder that the guy's drafted or something, and then boosting all his stats up and just running.
Fucking yeah.
That's literally that's Tom Brady in real life, dude. Yeah, I was laughing my ass off. Gee, we were all joking around that Florida quarterback was going to go in the 4th or go in the 1st round. Like we kept joking around.
Oh, Trask.
We kept joking around that Trask was going to get selected by like the fucking Panthers or some shit, dude. Like
he's not a bad quarterback though.
He's not a good quarterback, man. He did not play very well at all.
Oh, he didn't look good last year. I didn't watch Florida too much.
I was joking around that the Saints were gonna pick him because my older brother's the Saints. I mean, like with the 24th overall pick of the 1st round, the Saints select Trask from Florida.
They need a quarterback though. Well, I guess not. They're probably confident rolling with Jameis, aren't they?
Just Jameis Winston, he's playing for them this year. Is he their starter this year?
It's going to be him or Taysom Hill, and I highly doubt it's going to be Taysom Hill.
Yeah, I hope they're not confident with fucking with that. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. We'll see what they do, man. The NFC South is kind of open now because we don't know how the Panthers are going to do. The Falcons are probably still going to be a disorganized mess.
Yeah.
Saints and just their cap, them trying to chase the ring for the past 4 years is finally caught up with them on cap hit. So and then Tampa Bay has still got another year with that entire Super Bowl team. I think Tampa Bay is going to go to the Super Bowl again this year, dude. I think they're going to get a repeat.
See it unless Brady finally hits the cliff, with Father Time.
He's not going to, man.
No, he's not. But I feel like that's the only, other than of course injuries, right? But I feel like the only thing that can stop Tampa Bay from going to the Super Bowl for the NFC again would be Brady finally hitting the cliff. And no signs of that.
Yeah, Brady's still playing like NFL or MVP caliber fucking, or not MVP, but like Super Bowl winning caliber fucking football,
he was,
dude.
I mean, still a top 10 quarterback last year. He had his growing pains in the first half of the year, but he's a quarterback on a brand new team, and they had barely any training camp because of COVID.
You remember what I had said last year, right at this time of the year? I was like, they're gonna be okay, and they're gonna have a rough start in the beginning.
Yep.
Because new quarterback, new system, their COVID protocols are not going to be together. But towards the end of the season, they're going to start clicking, and they
peaked at the right time.
Yeah,
that was, and honestly, I think getting the growing pains out in the beginning of the season was. I mean, that was the key to them winning the Super Bowl, because they were able to peak in week 17.
I think Bruce Arians said that he was like, man, I wish we could have played another 8 weeks, because our team was really fucking clicking right then, man. And it's like they literally brought everybody back. They even brought Antonio Brown back, dude. Like,
yeah. So, and that's another thing, is they added a 17th game.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's a team from another conference, and it's like selected randomly.
I hear Edelman's going to be going down to Tampa Bay too.
No, he's retired.
Oh, he's retired. He's not going to come out.
No, he's not coming. He said his body's. So Gronk said the same thing though. So we'll see, right?
Exactly.
But they said they're going to add a 17th game, so it'll be interesting. I feel like if you're going to add a 17th game, you have to add 2 or 3 more roster spots.
That's what I heard they were going to do. I heard they were going to add like 3.
Yeah, I think that's what you got to do, because it's just such a long season. And everyone knows that the next I'm telling you, man, there's going to be an 18th game, and there's going to be an 8th playoff team event by the end of the decade.
Which I would be okay with. I would be okay with opening up the
but if you're going to do that, you've got to have more roster space.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, especially for linemen, because linemen just, man, they take all sorts of punishment during the regular season, dude.
Yeah,
and like,
especially linemen.
Yeah, because I mean, them trenches are fucking rough. Me and you both know that from experience.
Yeah,
so.
Linemen and running backs just take a pounding.
Yeah,
like you got guys grabbing at your dick down there. It's anarchy, and especially in those piles.
There's a reason why all them linemen tape the fuck up out of their hands and ankles and shit like that when they're there, man. Like, it's rough.
Yep. Who is your biggest? So who do you think? Let me see here. Who do you think is going to be the biggest steal of the draft?
I'm not sure, man. I know a lot of. I think a lot of people think that Micah Parsons is going to be a steal just from not being a top 10 pick. That might be true, man. That guy, dude, that guy's a fucking monster.
Oh, he's a beast.
I'm really, really surprised that honestly that Carolina didn't pick him up, because like to replace what's his name retiring? The white guy.
Kuechly?
Kuechly.
He retired?
Yeah, Kuechly retired early, because that was the whole thing about last year, last year's offseason or whatever. He retired because he just took too much pounding, man. He's like, he said his body, he was really worried about his body and stuff. So it's like, I'm surprised they didn't take another guy that's, could have been a generational talent. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what about Penei Sewell dropping to Detroit?
Oh, I think that's gonna be a good pick too. But here's the thing: is that he went to the Lions. So
yeah. Well, the Lions, every now and then they'll have good players. They just can't put them around anybody. They got. I mean, Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, Ndamukong Suh. All those guys were phenomenal players. They were just around terrible teammates.
And they were just terrible coaching, terrible ownership, like everything in the upper office of that team is just bad. But hey, I mean, here's the thing about the NFC North that's going to be weird though. Is like Rodgers wants out. He wants to get traded. Everyone thinks he's going to land up in the Broncos.
He's going to stay in. He's going to retire and host Jeopardy.
I don't think he's going to retire, man. I think they'll probably trade him. Here's the deal to the Broncos that everyone's saying, right? 2 or 3 first rounders plus Jerry Jeudy.
Okay.
And that's what you get for Aaron Rodgers, the MVP to the Broncos.
That's a lot for an aging quarterback on a young team.
That's a lot for the guy who's MVP last year, though. You know what I mean?
Was.
Everyone said the same shit about Manning going over there, and he took him to 2 Super Bowls and won.
Oh, I forgot Manning was there. Yup. Honestly, now that John Lynch is the manager of the 49ers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I got him and Elway confused. I mean, Elway, that wouldn't be the first time he's done something like that. Like you said, exactly. We saw with Manning. Is he going to overbuy or, are they going to overpurchase? Like, are they going to pay too much?
I would 3 first-round picks plus Jerry Jeudy's a lot. Maybe 2 first-rounders and Jerry Jeudy. That's like
2 first-rounders and a second-rounder.
Yeah, 2 first-rounder and a third-rounder, Jerry Jeudy. Yeah, but 3 first-rounders, man, dude,
you are literally mortgaging your future.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
hey, I do. The Broncos have a team to put Aaron Rodgers into like the driver's seat around him and go to the Super Bowl, bro. That Broncos team, that defense is super good. Yeah. That offense has weapons, man.
I'm just saying it's different than it was with Peyton Manning, right? Like with Manning, they signed him as a free agent. They didn't have to give anything up for him. With Rodgers, I mean, if you're 3 first-round picks, you can afford to miss a first-round pick 1 year, maybe even 2. But to miss out on 3 drafts, if you don't get a Super Bowl out of that, that's enough to cost you your career. You'll never work in this business again.
That's how you end up like the Saints, man. Just trying to go now, or I guess the Rams too. That's how you end up like the Rams were last year. Like,
yeah, I mean, look at the Texans. They didn't draft until the 3rd round.
Yeah,
like they had, and everyone's just roasting the Texans for their draft. I guess they did terribly.
I didn't even follow their draft. Man, I heard the Raiders did bad too, though. That's what people are saying.
John Gruden? No. What did the Raiders?
They picked an offensive tackle.
Yeah, I saw that.
The first round, which I was like, okay, yeah, that guy was good in Alabama. Any Alabama lineman, I think, is going to be a good.
They drafted 3 safeties. You can only have 2 on the field at the same time. Like, what the fuck?
Well, no, that's not true, because sometimes
some
when
teams
they do like
3 safety sets.
When they do like nickel packages and stuff, sometimes they'll put nickel or put a nickel safety out there instead of a corner or something.
Yeah, Houston took their first pick was the third pick of the 3rd round, number 67. They took Davis Mills, the quarterback from Stanford. They took Nico Collins from Michigan, Brevin Jordan from Miami, Garrett Wallow from TCU, and Roy Lopez from Arizona. I mean, I don't know if those are bad picks.
I remember people saying that Davis Mills guy was a pretty good quarterback.
What's the knock on him? Is it injuries?
That he's just not mechanically, like, he doesn't have as good a footwork as everyone else. But
you can teach that.
Yeah, he's got a really good arm, is what people say.
Yeah, I mean, and then the other one that everyone was concerned with was Kellen Monde, who went the pick before to the Vikings from A&M, the quarterback.
Yeah, what was up with him? Was he an off-field issue kind of guy or what?
No, I think so. Here's the thing: no quarterback has started more games and won more games in this draft, including Trevor Lawrence, than Kellen Monde. I mean, he's got the biggest winning percentage, or not winning percentage, but the most wins, most experience in D1, and he was in the SEC. It wasn't like he was in this slum, fucking Sun Belt or Big Sky conference.
That's a respectable conference for sure. So
I think there were concerns about his accuracy and some of his decision making, but I'm not 100%.
That's literally Justin Fields too, man. That's his biggest weaknesses. That guy still went in the first round. So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it all goes. And Justin Fields, he's with the Bears, so who knows?
I'm calling it right now, man. I've been calling it for the last 3 years, and you can say it. Go back on the fucking tape, pull up the tapes of fucking 2 years ago, man. I've been saying Justin Fields is going to be an NFL bust, and he shouldn't go in the first round.
Yeah, we'll definitely see. If you had to make predictions on all the first round quarterbacks, boom or bust, what would you do for starting with Lawrence?
Let me go back.
I think Lawrence will be a hit.
I think Trevor Lawrence will do good. I think what will happen is Trevor Lawrence will do a couple of years and Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's I don't think is gonna do good. You know, they might go like 8-9, fucking.
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know
I
what I mean?
forgot. 17
Finish.
games.
Yeah, finish just with like a slightly winning record or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But miss playoffs, and I think that he won't re-sign with them, and I think he'll sign with like a better team, like kind of in middle part of his career.
Yeah.
And I think that he will he'll go to it and he'll like just thrive there if he doesn't get hurt in Jacksonville.
I think he goes the Andrew Luck route. I think he's going to be a good quarterback, and at the end of his career, you're not going to be able to say, "Oh, he was a bust." But I don't think Jacksonville will ever be able to get over that hump in the AFC. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and dude, Andrew Luck was, man, I don't know how that guy never went to a Super Bowl or anything. It's just
he couldn't get over the hump. I mean, there's no one that can look at Andrew Luck's career in Indianapolis and be like, "Oh, that was a bad quarterback."
Yeah, dude, Andrew Luck
was great.
Andrew Luck was a quarterback that dude, people were afraid of that guy in the AFC South. Like, he would ruin people's like seeds in the playoffs and stuff.
No,
for them,
he was a good quarterback. Like, there's nothing against Andrew Luck. What about Zach Wilson? I'm gonna say bust just because it's the Jets. That's what quarterbacks go to die.
I think the Jets will end up trading him. I think it'll be just like Sam Darnold. I think they'll trade him, and he won't be able to make it work there because that team is ass.
Yeah.
The only receiver that they have that I can think of is Mims. Like,
yeah. Do they have Robbie Anderson still or no?
No, I think Robbie Anderson plays for like the 49ers or something.
Yeah, he signed somewhere else. I think you're right. Trey Lance.
Trey Lance.
Fuck, man, that is.
I think that he's gonna be good, man. I think he's gonna be in a similar situation to Mahomes. I don't think he's gonna have like the crazy arm talent that Mahomes has, because like there's something to be said about also being a fucking like an NFL or like an MLB caliber pitcher.
Yeah,
being a quarterback. But I think that he's gonna sit behind a year. He's gonna sit behind Kyle Shanahan, or have Kyle Shanahan there. Yeah. I think he's going to do good, man. I think they're going to look back and be like, he's probably the best quarterback out of the draft this year.
Yeah, I'm going to say hit because I think he. Let me see. I want to put this right. He had the highest IQ test, so I think he's very smart. There's not going to be any concerns with his IQ. So he's a smart player, and that's why I feel like he's going to be.
I'll just say this too: North Dakota State quarterback. I do say what you want about Carson Wentz with getting hurt and everything, but that dude was in the running to be the MVP the year that they won the Super Bowl. Like, they've got good quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
So they got good game there at North Dakota State. So
Justin Fields, we're both in agreement. He's going to be a bust.
I think he's going to be a bust, man. I think he's going to be like in the fucking Canadian Football League in a few years, like in like 5-6 years, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad he wasn't at first. I'm really glad that they didn't select him top 10, man.
Yeah. Mac Jones. Did Bill get it right? Did he make the right call? I won't answer this for personal bias.
You know what? I think that's not a bad pick for Bill, man. I mean, just look at he's in the first round. They're in the market for a QB. All the other quarterbacks that were left, like who else was they going to select? You know what I mean?
And the guy wins games.
The guy wins games in a system that's similar to how the Patriots play, man. Like that's, dude. Literally, Bill and fucking Nick Saban were like the coaching guys together in college. Remember, like I think they run really similar offenses. And I think him going there is what you could have seen if Tua would have gone to the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he's gonna do really well. And
he's not as fragile as Tua, though.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do well in New England, man. Like Bill Belichick's a good coach, and I think that they drafted pretty good this year. So maybe Bill finally was tired of getting everyone making fun of him for drafting like shit. So he's like, all right, motherfuckers.
So recently he's drafted like shit. He did have good drafts. I mean, Gronk, McCourty, guys like that were all draft picks. Chandler Jones, Dante Hightower. He's had good drafts, just not the one that sticks out the most is receiver. The guy cannot draft receivers to save his fucking life. The best receiver he ever drafted was a quarterback from Kent State that moved to receiver. It's Julian Edelman. Mm-hmm. Everyone else has either been, look, Randy Moss, Dante Stallworth, fucking Wes Welker, free agency or trades, Chris Hogan, Brandon Cooks, Brandon Wood, all of them.
I think the Patriots are good at selecting free agency players. So
yeah,
I mean, clearly they saw something that they liked in this guy. Like, yeah. I honestly think that Trey Lance is probably who they wanted to pick out of all the QBs that were up on there. But I think that was probably a guy that they were like, wanted to get, you know what I mean, was on Bill's board, like, yeah, we want to take this guy if he's available. So
yeah, I mean, if they didn't, because here's the thing, he may not have been their first choice, but if they didn't feel they could develop him into a franchise quarterback, they wouldn't have taken him.
They would have taken him back. They would have just signed another free agent quarterback, dude. Like,
yeah, they wouldn't have done it in the first round. They would have just traded back. Like, yeah. So
Bill don't give a fuck about his first round picks, man. You know,
doesn't fucking care. He's slowly learning, and I don't know. I think I'm willing to give Cam Newton another chance. I've got a feeling he's going to start most of the year.
Hey, dude, Cam Newton was good in that first 4 or 5 games until he got fucking COVID, man.
I'm telling you, man, it's that brain fog. I think it had something to do with it, or teams just figured out how to defend him.
I think too is like his stamina issues from just COVID fucking up your lungs, man. It's if Jason Tatum literally was saying the same shit.
60 points against San Antonio, by the way.
Dude, Philly is back up on top of the East now, man, after beating San Antonio too. Yeah.
Philly is? Oh, shit. I didn't even realize
they're half a game up on the me and my older brother started calling them the Brooklyn Avengers now.
Oh, yeah, because they've just bought a team, basically.
Yeah, although everyone's saying like, oh, they got all these fucking great players. I'm like, bro, like Blake Griffin was not a great player at that point in his career. Like, there's a reason he's a bench guy. You know, they just take all these big name guys that like at the late part of their year or like career.
How is Jeff Green still playing for the Brooklyn Nets for anybody? How does this guy? This guy is the biggest fucking grifter in NBA history.
If you've looked at like how Brooklyn's been doing it too, they've been kind of patching together their team because it's like, dude, like either KD's hurt or fucking or Kyrie's sitting out because he's being a bitch or fucking. You know what I mean? Like somebody's always sitting out. It's like when they make it to the playoffs, man. Like I hope that this is just load management on fucking Steve Nash's part or something. Because dude, if KD is out in the playoffs, like they're going out second round, first round, for sure. So,
yep.
They've been struggling against teams with good big men too, and there's a lot of teams on that East that got good 4 and 5s out there. So,
for sure. I don't know. Boston's just the most frustrating team in the world to watch.
I know, man. They're gonna limp their way into that play-in tournament, dude. Do you think they're gonna?
And my thing is like, I feel like Brad Stevens is the problem because Brad Stevens frequently it's not that his superstars underperform; it's that everyone around them underperform.
Here's one thing I heard somebody make a point about that I think rang pretty true was that Boston has these awesome superstars, right? Like Kemba Walker, Jason Tatum. They got who's their 3 again?
Brown.
Brown. Like those guys are all really good players, man. They're fucking 4 and 5s, or not, excuse me, their center, not their 4, but their center's spot is something left to be desired, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And also, they don't have that offensive threat that can take over. You know what I mean? Like before, they used to have Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward was good enough.
Hurt though. He was always hurt though.
He was also good enough on offense though to where he could take some of the load off of that.
Tatum seems to be doing pretty well at taking over the games though.
Maybe now later season, but earlier season no. And that just showed in the defense, man. Like Boston's was always known for their defense, and their defense was struggling. And I think it was I think it's because they have to expend more energy now on offense just to do their team makeup, and they don't have the energy reserves to play defense as good as they have been. So
sure, yeah, no, I totally.
Is it like look at somebody like the how the 76ers have like Tobias Harris, right?
Yeah,
Tobias Harris is a solid scoring threat and can play okay on defense. He's not going to be an all-star. You know what I mean? He's going to barely miss the all-star, but he's going to be good. You know, he's averaging 20 points a game, which, you know, isn't as impressive anymore as it used to be. But that's what I think the Celtics don't have is they don't have a guy that's not an all-star, but still like a solid player that they can rely on to score. So
I think
kind of rough.
Philly. I mean, Philly with as many number 1 picks as they got. Like,
yeah, dude. Hey, man, dude. Doc's assembled a pretty good fucking team on there, man. I really like Philly's starting lineup, dude. I've been saying it since the beginning of the season that Steph Curry was the best pickup they could have made to open up the. Like, and just the fact that Joel Embiid is like playing at MVP caliber is fucking awesome. Hasn't been as hurt as much as he usually is, and I think he'll be good for the playoffs.
For sure.
Ben Simmons has actually made 3 3-pointers this year, dude.
Shit, that's a record.
It is its record, dude. But yeah, Danny Green and Seth Curry are playing fucking awesome on that starting lineup, and I think that they got a couple of steals that are like Matisse Thybulle and Maxey is awesome. I think once Thybulle develops a good jumper, I think he's going to be a solid starter. And same with Maxey. Maxey's a fucking beast. And I mean, dude, Dwight Howard coming off the bench really gives energy to those young guys too. Like just him being there for like a lob threat and stuff is just like I think they've got a good team. I think they'll make a deep playoff run.
Whatever happened to Markelle Fultz? Do you remember when they drafted him?
I think he's on the Magic, isn't he? Or does he even still play in the NBA?
Yeah, he's still playing. Yeah, you want to talk about one of the biggest, and it's not even his fault. When he plays, he looks good. He's a lot like Greg Oden. Everyone talks about Greg Oden being this huge bust. When Greg Oden played, he actually looked okay. It's just that he couldn't fucking play. He couldn't stay on the court, and it's like, I mean, they didn't look like number 1 overall picks, but still.
Like, I think that just, when you're going through a rebuild, sometimes just things don't work out, right?
Sure.
And every franchise in the fucking NBA has whiffed on a player before, you know what I mean? Like, but I think that over the past 4 or 5 years, they've rebuilt into clearly the rankings show a very solid team. It's like the fucking Kings have been in rebuild for fucking 10 years, 15 years now, dude. Like, it's you know what I mean? Like, the only reason the Cavs were any good was because they had fucking LeBron with them. You know what I mean? And I mean, dude went to the Lakers too and made them into it took AD
and the Heat there, too, and
the Heat, So it's just like there's been teams that have been in rebuild for a really long time, and it sucks. But these playoffs are gonna be fun, man.
Yeah. No, it'll be lots of fun.
You laughing that LeBron's bitching about the play-in tournament now that the fucking Lakers are actually going to have to play in it?
Oh, are they going to play in it?
I think they're going to have to, man. They're sitting at like 7th seed right now. And
I didn't realize they were that far down. Oh, shit, yeah. LeBron.
I don't know if there's enough time for AD to get back into playing really well shape before the playoffs are going to climb out of that 7th or 8th spot, man.
Did you see the people trolling LeBron's son on Twitch?
No. John Bronny, dude?
Yeah, so you know how on Twitch, like when you donate to someone, it like reads a computerized message across the screen or whatever. Yeah. So people were like donating $1 and they were asking. So Dwayne Wade has a daughter that used to be
he's got a trans
it's like 13 daughter. And people were messaging him. They were like tipping Bronny $1 and going, "Are you gonna smash Zaya when she's legal?" And then it was like Zaya and Bronny. It was the computer voice that comes up and goes, "Zaya and Bronny sitting in a tree, KIS," and it does the whole song. And then it's like,
that's so fucking mean, dude. Because those guys, they're just kids, dude. I know. Like these are like fucking adults, like our age, doing this shit. That's so fucked up, dude.
And then the last one comes up and goes, "Does LeBron still spank you? I wish I could get spanked by LeBron." And just the look of horror on this kid's face when this pops up.
Welcome to the internet, bud. Like, yeah, they're not. It's like they just say shit on there, like that they don't even think. They just want to mess with fucking Bronny, dude. That shit with Dwayne Wade's son is fucking funny though, man.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What is Bronny's son? Bronny's like hit another growth spurt earlier this year too, didn't he? Isn't he like up to 6'4", 6'5" now or something?
Yeah. So a lot of people think because he's like 2 years away or like a year away from college. A lot of people think LeBron's gonna wait until Bronny comes out of the NBA or comes out to the NBA, and he's gonna hold out till then. And
you think he's gonna be like his dad and skip college completely? I mean,
Duke can't anymore. you can either go overseas for a year or you
No,
have
it'd be
to
like
play
LaMelo.
college for a year. Yeah, that's what, and it
I'm
worked
so
out
glad-
for him, honestly.
I'm so glad LaMelo is like back from his wrist injury, man. LaMelo deserves to be rookie of the year, dude.
He's the best of the three.
He's been fucking balling out, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I hope he wins rookie of the year. He'd get my vote any fucking day, man. Even with being out for like a month with that wrist, like.
Yeah. No, and I think well, so the thing with LeBron's contract is it's a player option after every year. So he can decline it. So it's a 1-year contract every year, and then he could just keep declining it. And so what's going to happen is he'll stick with the Lakers for now, and then when his son goes to play, in the
and
NBA,
I think he does.
I think sign with whoever that is.
I think that LeBron is going to end up after he is done with being a player, which be like 2-3 years from now probably. I think he's going to end up going into upper management. I think he's going to go be a GM because he's doing like basically player GM skills now with the Lakers. Like,
yeah, he's still a douche though.
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not a LeBron hater, so
anyone with Chosen One tattooed across their back is a douche.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a LeBron hater, so I don't.
See, I was a Boston Celtics fan. I grew up hating that motherfucker, especially when he went to Miami.
Yeah, for real. That's one thing that I like as being a basketball fan of for only like a couple seasons now.
You don't have
like,
the hatred built in.
I don't have the hatred built up except for the Celtics, of course, because I mean I'm liking the Philly or the 76ers.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That was
I couldn't go to Philly. I couldn't go to a home game and not have that mindset, or otherwise I'll probably get jumped by a crowd of like 6 fucking people. So
yeah. That's exactly it. All right. Well, we just did like an hour or close to it, so
that's fun.
I can get this bitch uploaded and
only got we got a while till the season starts up, but counting
NBA,
down the days, man.
NBA champs. Who's it gonna be? Who versus who, and then who wins?
I'm fucking hoping the 76ers and the Suns, but I don't know, man. We'll see how the Nets do in the postseason. Let me watch the first couple games from the first round of the playoffs, and then I can determine it. But
Clippers Nets, Clippers win. Calling it.
Your Clippers Nets. AC, I did that on the bubble, and I lost fucking $40 on the Clippers winning. So I'm not doing that again, dude. So I think the Suns will make it all.
They've built a team. It's fucking impressive. So
yeah.
Anyway, all right, motherfuckers. It's been
Deuces,
real.
y'all.
We'll talk to you soon. Have some new guests coming up. So peace out, motherfuckers.
See ya.